and had to be convinced by another Bills player to return. So he took to Twitter on Monday regarding that recent criticism he received, saying this: want me to be okay with losing? Nah. Want me to be okay with our level of play when it's not up to the standard? Nah. It's easy to criticize my reaction more than the result. Meanwhile, some of that less than stellar play may be due to this. Josh Allen had not been 100% since his Week 9 injury to the Jets. Josh, tell us more.
There was a period, obviously, right after for a few weeks where, it was pretty bothersome, but again, it didn't affect me all that much. Just kind of felt like maybe I was trying to throw it a little differently mechanically. Had to change a few things, and got away a little bit from, how I'm used to throwing the ball, and that's just kind of a byproduct of that. But again, it didn't affect me too much.
All right, Essay, let's do this. Is Josh Allen in the same tier as a Joe Burrow and a Patrick Mahomes?
Not right now. I know he's a big-time talent. I'm not taking anything away. I'm a fan of Josh Allen. But you were knocking on the door, and now Joe Burrow has surpassed you. So why am I going to put you in the same tier? You lost to Patrick Mahomes in an AFC Championship game. You lost to him in a divisional playoff game. You lost to Joe Burrow in a divisional playoff game. When it matters most, they beat you. You don't beat them. So as a result of that, I can't. The only other thing that I want to say is this. I don't want to hear about any Josh Allen injuries. You were 6-3 on the season. Y'all won 8 straight. I didn't hear anything about injuries then. All of a sudden, you go on the field against the Cincinnati Bengals, who smoked y'all. Y'all were never, at no time did we think y'all were going to win that game. They was just thoroughly outplaying you from the first quarter, open and tap. And now I'm hearing about this? No, I don't want to hear it. It's unacceptable to me. You lost, and that's just what it is.
S.A., I do believe he's in the same tier with those guys because I can't get my mind off of some of the performances that I've seen Josh Allen put up. He was absolutely not the reason that Buffalo didn't win that AFC Championship game. He was the reason that damn near should have won it. I've seen him play at a level high enough times to still put him in that tier. The difference is with Josh Allen, I believe, is the fact that Brian Daboll left and Ken Dorsey was his OC this year. And the other thing is, I believe out of those guys, when you talk about Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, and I know he has Stephon Diggs, but Josh Allen has to be more of a guy that is more on his shoulders for this team to have offensive success. Now, I don't think that's to his own fault. They don't run the football successfully. They don't have any kind of nuance to this offense other than when things are going bad, Josh Allen become a superhero. And I know we asked that of other quarterbacks. I know we asked that of Patrick Mahomes. I don't have Josh Allen on Patrick Mahomes' level. I just have him in that tier of guys that can go toe-to-toe. I still believe he's uber talented. I think the offensive coordinator situation may have been bothersome this year. I think his talent is as good as it gets. Now, we'll see next year because he had turnover issues, and we can't get over that part. He had some, and remember last year, Patrick Mahomes had his struggles early in the season, and then finally got it going and ripped off 10 wins in some different situations and circumstances with the team. But ultimately, I'm not ready to put Josh Allen out of that conversation yet, as far as a guy that's in that tier that can compete with these guys on any given Saturday or Sunday or Thursday or Monday.
Look, at the top of the tier is clearly Patrick Mahomes. Then you got Joe Burrow. And then in between there, there's a gap. There's a gap in between there. And in between that gap, you probably got Josh Allen and a young Jalen Hurts side by side based on where they played. He's not in that conversation, Swagoo. One dude's been to a Super Bowl and lost. One dude's been to 2 Super Bowls, got an MVP. Another dude owns the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season and the postseason. Josh Allen beat him in the regular season, but regardless if it's his fault or not, on his record and his resume in the postseason, it says loses the Kansas City Chiefs. No matter what side of the ball. It wasn't his fault.
But we can't attribute that to him.
You can't attribute that to him.
We can't attribute
the wins to him.
I attribute his performances.
Yeah,
I'm talking about his performance.
But when it matters most, like Stephen A. said, he's in the same level as other guys that lose. So I love his talent.
So
I love
based
his
on,
talent.
but based on that logic, why don't you have Burrow over Mahomes?
Well, because Mahomes has gotten an MVP and been to 2 Super Bowls already.
Okay.
And still at the top of the game.
But
and neither one of those quarterbacks, Swagoo, has ever led the league in turnovers.
We've attributed. I'm talking about performances when it comes to tiers. I don't think Josh
Allen. Let me
Allen.
show your performance real quick. I got a 2009 performance. Can we pull that up? Do we have that?
What?
Do we
Y'all
have?
pulled the picture of me.
Come on,
Man, he
guys.
back to the cowboy stuff, man.
Oh
Look at that
my God! Look how cute.
I can't stand y'all.
Young
Not only that,
whippersnapper.
I just want to ask you one question.
Running
How much
around
them
those
earrings
Dallas
cost, man?
streets.
How much
that's
them
a-
earrings cost?
Boy, them earrings cost about $400, boy. That ain't.
Wait,
Hey,
I'm told we have another one.
Chad Johnson said it publicly. I was. Now that's.
Oh, now I'm talking. He's at the ready for the let out. Oh my goodness. That's why they call him Swaggo.
I love it.
What year is
Hole in
that?
them pockets.
Man, that's what my grandfather used to tell me every time. Stephen A. Miley and Key, every time when I made it to the league, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I bought something, my grandfather say, "Man, that money burning a hole in your, you know what?"
I gotta tell you,
What year was that?
I don't, Miley, I don't know.
In the back of the bed.
I got something that I think everybody would have the answer to. When you got a little bit of money, what's the number one hazard?
The number one hazard?
When you got a little money.
Spending it on things that depreciate.
No. Number one hazard, family.
Oh yeah. Well, that's up there. That's up there.
A lot of people.
For sure.
A lot of people. That's the one time when you wish you didn't have you had big relatives all over.
And Stephen A., the first time you say no, you changing.
That's right. You change.
You change.
He used to be.
It used to be.
Hey,
to give Joe Burrow a title that he does not necessarily deserve. I get it. He had a great weekend. He's had a great career so far, and you want to say something definitively great about him. So you say that Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football, who also has to be a quarterback, but Joe Burrow is the best quarterback at quarterbacking?
Right. I mean,
what are we doing here?
Right. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is the best player. Oh, what position does Patrick play? Quarterback. Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's okay to say Joe Burrow is incredible, but he's not quite Patrick Mahomes, because that's what Dan's saying there.
I would sit there and say, like, there's no bigger fan of Joe Burrow than me, but obviously there is, and it's Orlovsky. But look, I mean, the point he's making is he's playing the quarterback position. He's absolutely right. The guy is absolutely dominating. He's doing everything. Patrick Mahomes is the best player I've ever seen. And it's that simple.
I actually agree with Dan from this standpoint. He really reminds me of a young Tom Brady. You go back to that first touchdown to Jamar Chase, he was uncovered, and Tom Brady would rip your heart out if you drop coverage for a nanosecond.
You don't have to do this, Mike. You don't have to.
I understand.
You don't have to do this.
I understand.
I promise you, you don't have to compare him to Tom Brady. No one's making you.
But my eyes are telling. But my eyes are telling. Yes. He got his accuracy,
Mike,
his anticipation.
Tom Brady got 7 Super Bowls, Mike. What are we talking about?
He's 45 years old.
What are we talking about?
Joe Burrow is awfully young. Marcus. Oh, my goodness, we've lost Marcus.
Don't kill Marcus. I love Marcus.
Mr.
Don't kill him with your bad takes.
That's your guy, by the way, Dan Orlovsky. Every single afternoon, NFL Live, you guys are out there having these conversations. What do you think of what he said?
That's your guy, Swagoo.
Wins and losses matter, okay? And the reason why I said what I just said about the potential of Joe Burrow becoming the guy, because this will be now 4, okay? And when I say the guy, I mean the guy that is going to win championships. It has nothing to do with him being the best quarterback. Y'all, this is a simple barbershop conversation, and y'all know I love to put when we on TV in context of the barbershop. That's how I do TV. Okay, I do TV like I did, talking to my uncles and my daddy and all of the dudes in the barbershop who all think they right and most of them wrong, and it's the one dude that make all the damn sense in the barbershop. If you ever been to a black barbershop in the hood, that's what happens. A lot of screaming and shouting, and then one of the OGs walk in, he say 3 words, and everybody know he right. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. All right, now we could end it at that. All right, but I'll go a step further. Because I think the world of Joe Burrow. Y'all know my affinity for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow delivered a national championship, the best team ever at Louisiana State University. He is the guy that I think will be in competition with Mahomes to win Super Bowls based on how he's currently constructed. Do y'all know if Patrick Mahomes had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, he would throw for 7,000 yards a season? Are we seriously having this conversation? Look, Joe Burrow is phenomenal.